Okay, Pops, someone is going to do it. I can assure you someone is going to do it. What am I referring to? Oh, well, Bloomberg recently tweeted out, and I quote tweeted him, man, because I'm trying to be someone on Twitter, Dad. Toyota, in the late 1950s, they came to the United States, and the reason they took massive market share is because they undercut competitors and built reliable vehicles. Well, Bloomberg posted an article where they talk about the fact that automakers are no longer producing as many vehicles, forcing many people out of the market. I know you and I have talked about this offline before. Let's talk about it online, Dad. Someone is going to run the Toyota playbook again. They're going to steal market share. People are going to be wondering, why'd that happen? Well, it's because they made a car for the people, and I know you're opinionated about this. What do you think?
Well, damn it, I'm opinionated about a lot of different things, but I'm passionate about this because, so many of the major players in the automotive industry have decided that they're just going to keep increasing the MSRPs on their cars and keep producing the more expensive, higher profit margin vehicles, taking a lot of people out of the market. I believe it was in January that almost 20% of all cars sold were luxury cars. 1 in 5 cars purchased in January were luxury cars, which means these were cars for rich people, okay? That's where everything's headed. Well, as I like to say, we need cars for the rest of us, okay? The vast majority of us don't fall into that category of rich so that we can afford these overpriced luxury vehicles. So, yes, somebody needs to take up the Toyota playbook from the late 50s, early 60s, produce good quality, reliable cars at a reasonable price. Now, as you know, my theory on this is we should form a new auto company called Festivus Autos, and we should offer Festivus cars for the rest of us at prices all of us can afford. What do you think?
All right, Dad, you can sell your car on CarEdge. What's the deal?
The deal is you just plug in your VIN number and we'll get you offers from local dealers in minutes.
Seconds. CarEdge.com/sell.
Okay.
I think you could be onto something. Let's put this into context a little bit, Dad. The most popular vehicle sold, new vehicles sold in the United States is the Ford F-150. Average transaction price, latest data we have there, is north of $66,000. The average new car payment, KBB says, is north of $777 a month. Used cars are nearly at $550. No matter how you slice this, even when you start to think more about average APRs that are north of 13% for used cars and over 8% for new cars, no matter how you slice this, Dad, it sets the stage for someone to do what Toyota and other foreign automakers did in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And if you look at the playbooks and strategies that Stellantis and Ford and General Motors are currently deploying, they look like they're trying to go up market. They're investing in EVs. Yes. They're investing in vehicles that are more expensive, top trim levels. And honestly, some of the traditional legacy automakers who have been cheaper, like Toyota and Honda and others, we've documented how they've gotten rid of their entry-level trim options.
Yes.
Someone, I don't know who, I'm very curious to read the comments of this video. Someone is going to say, wow, the share of vehicles that are being sold is staying stagnant, but the population's growing. Maybe it's because we're pricing people out of the market. And that's exactly what Toyota did in the 50s, the late 50s. And look, they're the #1 volume automaker in the world. And it's because they executed on that strategy and they did it well.
Yes, and even today in the United States, the average transaction price on a Toyota is over $40,000. The average transaction price for a Honda is over $37,000, I believe, and for a Nissan, over $36,000. Even Hyundai and Kia come in the mid 30s. So these are not prices that the vast majority of people can afford. They're more affordable for a larger group of people than, say, what we see on the luxury side of things, the upscale side of things. But yes, we need the brands to start bringing back sensible priced vehicles that are affordable, that are reliable, that will last a long time. And when I say sensible and affordable, I think we need to see more and more vehicles in the low 20s to mid 30 price range, so that we can expand the number of people who are actually trying to buy new cars, as opposed to keep contracting the number of people that are trying to buy new cars.
And reliable. That's the other word and the other part of this, Deb, because some of the brands that you listed off, we could talk about Ford all day long, and we do frequently on this channel because they lead the league in recalls, folks. Okay, you can't increase your prices, decrease your sales, and increase your recalls. That's a recipe for disaster. We've documented that here. But then you look at Hyundai, Kia. They also are up there when it comes to the recalls, and especially devastating recalls, engine fires, oil leaks, things like that. So we need one automaker to step up to the plate and just hit a home run. Or honestly, a double. Just some fundamentals here, folks. That's what we're looking for. Because if we don't, we could be looking at an interesting moment in time where people owning cars just goes by the wayside. There's super interesting research from the Washington Post that they documented. Generation Z, they're not getting driver's licenses like the prior generation did. So you might be looking at the perfect storm here of fewer people wanting to own cars, fewer people being able to afford cars, and automakers intentionally holding back inventory so that they can continue to increase prices. If that's not an opportunity for someone to come in and disrupt the market, I don't know what else is.
Yeah, and we need somebody other than a Rivian or a Lucid, we need somebody that wants to build inexpensive, reliable cars for the vast majority of people, as opposed to expensive, somewhat reliable cars for the rich and the ultra rich. So yeah, somebody needs to fill that void. Who that someone will be, I have no idea. But like I said, maybe it could be us. Maybe we could start Festivus Autos and make cars for the rest of us.